Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News for this hour. I am Gifts or Gete. Amnesty International on Wednesday claimed that Nigeria's military top brass were warned of brutal Boko Haram attacks on the northeast towns of Baga and Monguno, but failed to take action. The January 3 onslaught against Baga is feared to have killed hundreds, if not more, and destroyed thousands of homes, while the takeover of Monguno last weekend was seen as a major setback for the security forces. Amnesty said it received information from senior military officers and other sources indicating that defense officials were told about Boko Haram's plans to attack both towns but did not act on requests to send reinforcements. Amnesty added that troops in the town in the extreme north of Plateau State reported a build-up of insurgent fighters in the area before the attack.
So we have clear evidence that the highest levels of the Nigerian military knew about the attack on Baga up to 2 months in advance and did not take adequate measures to protect civilians. We've seen Boko Haram really go from strength to strength in the last year. In 2014 alone, they killed more than 4,000 civilians, and we believe they've taken control of over 20 major towns in the region. So more needs to be done to protect civilians, whether that's by changes to the way the military operates, or by ensuring that their safe passage out of areas that are threatened by Boko Haram. The government must be doing more. We believe that there are challenges in capacity of the Nigerian military which they are trying to address. The military has been seeking international cooperation to strengthen their army through training, through intelligence sharing. So some measures are being taken, but the pattern that's emerged is that immediate steps aren't being taken to protect civilians.
Military authorities have accused Amnesty International of making misleading statements on the counter-terrorism operation in some parts of the northeast region. This was in response to claims by the right group that the military did not take action to forestall Boko Haram attacks on Baga and Monguno, in spite of prior warnings. Defense spokesman General Chris Olukolade said in a statement that Amnesty did not make any meaningful attempt to verify the allegations before reaching a conclusion. Defense headquarters insisted that troops were prepared and duly engaged the terrorists in all the instances referred to by Amnesty International. It argued that this was why the insurgents did not succeed with their main intention of attacking Maiduguri and other places. Appointed Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 2 Command, Joseph Mbo, has warned troublemakers to stay clear of his way. Mbo, while taking over from the departing AIG in charge of the zone, Abubakar Manko says he will review the number of people moving around in the zone with security men, with a view to ensuring that only those who have the right to security around them get them.
You must be disciplined, you must be ready to do your job, and there must be no lawlessness. We must be organized. If you are a civilian, obey the law. If you don't obey the law, whatever your status will bring you down and will take you to court. And then the misuse of my policeman, I will say no. If you are not entitled to a policeman, if you have, I will draw. And if you insult my policeman, I will not take it lightly with you. I will prosecute you.
The National Peace Committee, headed by former head of state Abdul Salami Abubakar, is concerned about the trend of hate speech and political violence in spite of the Abuja Accord on Non-Violence. The committee, which was set up in the aftermath of the accord, has consequently slated a meeting for next week to take a stance on the matter. Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Matthew Kuka, disclosed this at a news conference in Abuja. Pio Samuel has the rest of the story. We do apologize, we cannot bring you that report now, but we will sort it out and bring it to you in a subsequent bulletin. A Lagos governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Jimmy Agbaje, and his All Progressives Congress counterpart, Akinwumi Ambode, have pledged to ensure that the forthcoming general elections is peaceful in the state. They spoke in Lagos after the signing of a peace accord by all political parties at the state police headquarters. Kasim Kasali's report is presented from our studios.
This warm embrace and the throwing on banters by the two major gladiators in the Lagos State governorship race, Akinwumi Ambode and Jimmy Agbaje, after signing of the peace accord, symbolizes the charge by the State Commissioner Kayode Aderanti for all parties to work towards a free, fair and non-violence elections.
For us to assure you that we're going to give you 100% security without bringing you on board, that is just, to me, far from being the ideal thing. And knowing fully well that Lagos is the business epicenter of this country, we've got to do everything together and ensure that we have an election that is devoid of violence, election that is devoid of intimidation, election that will be generally acceptable.
The resident electoral commissioner in Lagos, Akin Rebi, also assured all the parties that all measures have been put in place to ensure successful polls.
The ballot papers will be color-coded. In elections that we've had since 2011, in governorship elections, in Kogi, in Bayelsa, in Cross River, in Kebbi, in Adamawa, in Ondo, in Ekiti, as well as in Osun, the ballot papers are color-coded. There will be a specific color for a particular local government in the state. So if you print your own papers, you do not know the colors you're going to use, and if you want to put them onto the field, you don't know which color belongs to a particular local government. Again, to protect the integrity of the electoral process.
Speaking after signing the peace document, Agbaje and Ambode say they are optimistic that the elections will be violence-free.
I've been an advocate of violence-free elections. When you want to serve the people, you don't need to be violent about it if it's service to the benefit of the people. So for me, it's something that I wholeheartedly support, and no reservations whatsoever.
We want it to be peaceful. We've tried all our best to make sure that our campaign has been violence-free, and that's why, you know, we are supporting this agreement today that no violence should ever occur in Lagos. And whoever has been doing that, or whatever party has been doing that, at least with this agreement now, it behoves on all of us that we must keep the peace and ensure that we all have a violence-free election.
Despite agreeing to the peace accord, political observers are of the opinion that all stakeholders must match their commitment with action in order to guarantee peaceful elections.
Lagos Governor Babatunde Fashola has accused the PDP governorship candidate in the state, Jimmy Agbaje, of tax evasion through his company, JK Pharmacy. Fashola, who stated this at the 8th Lagos State Taxation Forum on Wednesday, says regular tax payment remains the only viable means of ensuring effective development in the country. Abiola Oluwole's report is presented from our studios.
The gathering, according to Fashola, is meant to seek the support of both private individuals and corporate bodies in the drive by the state government to ensure prompt payment of taxes. Fashola will use the occasion to appreciate residents for paying their taxes promptly. Says developments recorded in the state are made possible through internally generated revenues.
And this is what we have built together. If you go to the Badagry Expressway, and you will see the progressive expansion of a 6-lane highway into a 10-lane highway. And you will see 4 rail stations already built. If you drive on the Eco Bridge and you see the pillars now showing that the rail is headed to Marina, you must feel proud that your taxes help to build that.
He, however, called on the residents to avoid voting for a tax evader as their next governor, claiming that JK Pharmacy, owned by Lagos PDP governorship candidate Jimmy Agbaje, is set to pay the 2009, 2010 and 2011 land use charge to the state government.
JK Pharmacy has not paid land use charge for 2009, 2010, 2011 and 2012. They paid in 2013 and in 2014. I think as the election was coming close, they tried to. They are owing our state 1,629,064 naira 62 kobo. Land use charge, ground rent, local government collects from it. Local government has responsibility for primary education. Yes, it is holding their taxes. Is this person a good citizen? This is the man who wants to be your next governor.
The event witnessed presentation of awards to individuals and corporate bodies for being tax compliant.
Following his endorsement by the Afenifere Group on Tuesday, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, President Goodluck Jonathan, breezed into Democracy Park in Akure, the Ondo State capital, on Wednesday to address party faithfuls as he continues his second-term campaign rally. He pleaded for votes and called for unity among members of the party in Ondo State to make the party's chance brighter at the coming polls. Rashid completes the story.
The Democracy Park venue of the PDP presidential rally was filled to the brim with party faithful as the Jonathan campaign team berths in Akure. The PDP in the state, which just merged with the Labour Party, vows to support President Goodluck Jonathan.
I want to assure you that because of your good work, Ondo State people will vote for you.
The Afenifere endorsement of Jonathan, in the words of the party leadership, is a good sign and a signal that Jonathan will carry the day in the southwest. The division in the Ondo State PDP eventually played out on the campaign ground. The president, promising to bring more dividends of democracy, pleads for unity among party members to brighten the party's chances in the state.
Yes, we appreciate that we have issues in Ondo State. The party will work very hard to make sure that Jimo Abraham will sit down together and talk about the interests of Ondo State.
With endorsements of presidential candidates and mammoth crowd greeting their campaign rallies, it may be said that these candidates are having swell time. But in truth, the effectiveness and reality of gatherings like this will be the result of the February 14th presidential election. But before that day, Nigerians are to enjoy the campaigns of their presidential candidates while it lasts. Rashid, CoreTV News, Akure.
It's CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on DJ360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Welcome back. It's CoreTV News on the air. Do not forget that you can also catch us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTVNews. On Twitter at CoreTVNewsNG. And on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV_News. President Goodluck Jonathan has admitted the criticism by Governor Rotimi Amaechi and his government that his government has not done anything for the people of Rivers State. This, has said, was because he did not want to be seen as an ethnic leader. Hence, his resolve to ensure the equitable distribution of resources across the country. President Jonathan, who spoke during the presidential rally of the People's Democratic Party at the Adokie Stadium in Rivers State, however, promised to develop the South-South region if elected for a second term in office. The president was reacting to the criticism by Amechi, who is also the Director General of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Organization, that he had not done anything for Rivers and Bayelsa State. Describing Amechi's statement as a challenge, Jonathan admitted that though he had not allocated more development to his people, the situation was an indication that he meant well for the country. He pointed out that he accepted Amechi's challenge but would do something for the South-South state when he is re-elected. Earlier, the PDP governorship candidate in the state, Chimwesom Wike, had expressed confidence that the party would win the February 2015 presidential and governorship elections. Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole says the People's Democratic Party has been stifling the electoral process since 1999. The governor, who made these allegations at an interactive session with journalists in Benin City, maintained that the ruling party had never won any clean elections, especially in the South-South. Reacting to calls for postponement of next month's polls, Oshiomhole argued that only the Independent National Electoral Commission has the power to make such decision. He insisted that Nigerians should be allowed to decide whether or not to vote, while expressing concerns on how the elections will be conducted. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Plateau State, Gwang Payok, has promised the people that he will not repeat the mistakes of his predecessors, especially that of incumbent Governor Jonah Yang. Pajok, who made this known in Paskshing when his campaign trail visited the area, called on the people to ignore prophets of doom who have predicted unfavorable outcome for the 2015 elections. Pajok, who is currently the senator representing Plateau North at the National Assembly, added that he and his colleagues in the administration have learned a lot and are now willing to put to good use the beauty of their experiences.
2015 will be a very dangerous year for Nigeria. But as you can see from our faces here, we come from diverse backgrounds. We are united in one purpose, that we want to conduct an election that will usher in a new era, a new Plateau State, a Plateau that is determined to bring brothers together regardless of any differences, and that will work for the progress of our land and will ensure that this country remains united rather than break down. Every father is for the children to grow up to be better than them. And today, we are praying that as we move into greater together, as we get ready in this 2015, we'll be able to put up a government that will be greater and greater and greater. And that those who will come behind us will also do better than us. As we do better than our parents, they should also do better than us. And that is the idea behind a generational shift. And that is why we believe that while the old men dream dreams, the young men should see vision and walk in that direction.
Staff of the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital are determined more than ever to press home their demands from the federal government. The staff have, however, turned to God for intervention as all efforts to ensure the federal government see reason have fallen on deaf ears. Rashid brings us more.
Members of the staff of the National Union of Health and Allied Professionals converged on the Union Secretariat for no other reason than their close to 3-month-old strike to deliberate on the non-response of the federal government to their numerous demands.
But everything bordered on welfare of staff, better working conditions. We are asking for restructuring of the health sector. For instance, some of our members have been on the same level for more than 6, 7, 8 years, some 15 years. The ministry is saying that people cannot reach grade level 15 as directors, which is contrary to the approved scheme of service for workers. So that's one of the reasons. Another thing, we are asking government to release a new circular concerning the retirement age of workers from 60 years to 65. We are asking for the release of adjusted salary structure and have been done for NME. The own was done last year after just a space of 10 days. Government has been on our own for almost 2 years now. They have not done it. And so this one is killing the spirit of collective bargaining. And some other numerous things I can read it to you, if you permit.
A visit to some of the departments in the teaching hospital shows empty wards as there was nobody to attend to, while the patients have equally been forcefully discharged. Carrying placards with various inscriptions, the union members called for the urgent resolution of the crisis, which they say is affecting and having serious toll on healthcare provision in the country. They promised to resume work as soon as the federal government accedes to their demand and wonder why it's taking so long after obtaining a court injunction on the matter.
Our nation executive have tried a lot. We have been calling this strike on and off for almost 12 times, simply because the federal government does not abide by the MOU. And the only thing that matters most is let them release the circular. The NIC court are giving us the judgment, and up to now, that circular has not been released. Our executive have been trying so many times. We go on strike, then before the expiration, they call off the strike. More than 12 times. More than 12 times. So the relativity of salary has to be released. They have done for the medical doctors, and don't see any reason why such a gesture cannot be given to the health sector too.
They also offer prayers to seek God's intervention over the industrial dispute. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
It's CoreTV News on the hour. We'll take another break. Please stay with us.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a way, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on CoreTV News. Welcome back. Good to have you. Stay tuned with us. Indonesia's search and rescue agencies said Wednesday that 92 victims still missing after an Air Asia plane crash could have been swept away or be lost on the seabird after no more bodies were found in the jet's fuselage. Flight QZ8501 went down in the Java Sea on December 28 in stormy weather with 162 people on board during what was supposed to be a short trip from the Indonesian city to Surabaya in Singapore. So far, just 70 bodies have been recovered. Authorities had hoped that the majority of the passengers and crew would be in the plane's main section. But after several days searching the fuselage, they said no more bodies could be located. The military, which has provided the bulk of personnel and equipment for the operation, withdrew from the search Tuesday due to the failure to find more victims. And after several failed attempts to lift the damaged fuselage, the Civilian Search and Rescue Agency has said it will push on with the hunt.
But we have 2 days free for giving the element of the operation to prepare for the next 7 days.
Aim remains...
Bring the bodies. Not the fuselage, not the tail, not the cockpit, but the body, the victim.
Mission will not stop, so continue. So the information now clear, the misunderstandings now being clarified. We are happy with their action, but is it enough? We say no, it's not enough, because there is a lot of bodies still waiting to be evacuated.
That's our news for this hour. Please join us again. I am Gift or Gete. Enjoy the rest of our programs.